guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nzuzo, and if you're new here, we are currently on the series where we're going over my trip that I took in April. So we've done Thailand, Bangkok, which is where I started. Then we went over to Cambodia. Then we were in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. The last video we were in Hanoi, Vietnam, and today we are back in Thailand, but we are going to Phuket. So Phuket is a very popular destination, very popular, especially among South Africans because the rand is stronger in Thailand, and obviously Phuket is a beach town, it's fun, and most people usually land in Bangkok and then they go to Phuket, or they just go straight to Phuket. So with me, I left Hanoi and I was on a 2-hour flight down to Bangkok for a layover, and then the flight from Bangkok was just over an hour, which was okay. The one thing that did surprise me is that the distance from Phuket airport to Patong, which is where my stay was going to be, was longer than I had anticipated. I don't know why, because I did so much research and I watched vlogs, but it's just never appeared to me that the distance is that long. So it's over an hour, but nothing under an hour from the airport to Patong. So most people will stay closer to Patong because that's where the beach is, that's where most attractions are. So I also stayed in this area. At the airport, again, as usual, because of the Wi-Fi issue, I had a trouble finding a Grab. So I ended up in this adventurous situation where I was traveling with this grown-up person who was also having a similar issue. But it was great because he was telling me about all his travels that he had been doing in Indonesia. Overall, very interesting. I did not feel the ride that it was actually over an hour. Yeah, so risky when I told my family, but you know what? If my heart doesn't tell me there's anything wrong with that, I usually take it as that person also has the purest intentions. So that then leads me to now my part where I go to the accommodation. The accommodation exceeded my expectations. It was one of my favorite hotels that I stayed in during the trip. Absolutely gorgeous. I loved it. I only got to Phuket now. My flight was delayed throughout the time. I love these doors. Quick room tour. Love these doors. Oh my goodness. There's a mirror there. Bathroom. I want to shower quickly and make a call. That's my bed. Closet. Love that painting. Then there are these doors. Probably my favorite feature. They open up into, voila. Okay, there's that view. Where the area that it was in was very lushy and bushy, very close to nature. I liked the sounds of nature, the size of the room, everything was really perfect. It was also very close to Patong Beach, which is a party scene at night, and during the day there are lots of markets to sort of explore. So if you are in Phuket, I would definitely recommend staying in Patong Beach area. So I got to Patong very late at night on the first day, so there isn't much that I got up to on the first day. On the second day, I decided to take things slowly, and I really had no plan, but I ended up in Phuket Old Town. What a gem. It's tiny, but there's a lot to do. So I was restaurant hopping, looking around. There are markets. It's a very old, I liked the buildings, how everything looked. It was nice and old. I like old cities, or old towns rather. I really enjoyed it, and then at night I explored the famous Patong Beach, or the party scene there. Whew. Very interesting, very interesting. especially for me because I was traveling alone. So being alone in that, I was never lonely, but yeah, very interesting because people assumed that I was out trying to meet people in that way, but no, I wasn't. I really enjoyed it. There's food. You really decide what you want to focus on. You can either focus on their real party, their strip clubs, there are sort of gaming parts, there are food stalls, anything that you want to. There are open bars that are more casual on the streets. I loved it so much, so much that even the following day I went there. So it became my evening thing. Every evening I would go back there to just probably explore a different aspects of the town or of the nightlife. Then on day two, I feel like my day two was really wasted. But again, I couldn't have done things. I could have done things differently, maybe. So I had this habit of sleeping in quite a lot. So I would wake up a bit late because obviously, if I'm going to the party scene and exploring at night, it means that I'm going to bed quite late. And also because of the time difference, for me to connect with my family, I had to stay up a bit late. So as a result, I'll wake up later. But anyway, I went to this famous restaurant. It's called Madabua. I could be pronouncing it wrong. But it's this cafe where you're taking those popular drone pictures in Thailand. It was great. I feel, so this is my honest review. One, I feel that I should have gone there way earlier because I got there around 10:30ish, 11ish. Already by that time, the list is long, the waiting list, that is. So my slot ended up being around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, meaning that I have to stick around the whole day for me to wait for that slot in the afternoon. It's better to take your pictures when the sun is still up. So if it's 3 o'clock, they cannot guarantee that the sun will still be nice and bright. So that was the one thing for me. Two, well, I met another girl there who was from Dubai. So I don't know, if she wasn't there, I don't know what I would have done really, because I had nothing to do. There aren't any other activities. You can take your own pictures around the property, but you can only do that for so long. So they've got different packages. They are available on their website. You can either do pictures only, picture and a video. There are also group packages. So I was traveling alone, and I think I paid about 800 baht, which at that time, the exchange, I think it would have been about 600 randish for pictures only. Yeah, at first I wanted the video as well. I think the video was going to be about 1,200 to 1,500 baht. I cannot remember, but I feel that I ended up doing the pictures or taking the pictures because I had traveled for so long, because the distance from Patong Beach to where this restaurant is quite a long distance. So I just had to commit. I had to stay until 3 o'clock. I had to pay. I had to do everything because I couldn't waste so much time and money on a motorbike. The energy that I had put into it, I just had to stay until 3. Their service was okay. It could be better. But it was okay. Yeah, I had a great time. The food, I think people had said that the food is not so great there. I didn't find anything wrong with the food. Maybe it's just what I ordered. Yeah, but I eventually took the pictures. They were okay. I found nice ones. Unfortunately, I think you only get 8 or 10 pictures in their package, and you can't go and choose the pictures. They just choose the 8 pictures they're gonna send to you. I didn't like that part. So anyway, overall, I decided to focus on the good. Unfortunately, the lady from Dubai had to go, which was so sad because I was with her the whole day and it felt like she was a part of me. Now on this trip, we met, we did so many things, we shared so much. She did offer us to go to another club that was closer to the airport, but it would mean I'm now too far from my hotel. So unfortunately, I still wish I could meet her one day. We had such a good connection, and these are the things that I really appreciate about traveling, when you make those meaningful connections. She still shares videos with me on Instagram. We still chat a bit. It was just such a lovely experience for me. So I think meeting her on that day was the highlight of my day, more than the pictures that I went there for. Sikanalo petrol guys, silana petrol station siqale Caltex angazi kanjani ngizange ngizithiwani. So I'm heading home now. Spent almost the whole day at that Madu Whitewash Cafe. So I think I'm gonna go to a beach club. So there are some guys that we met there. You can go, they're great friends. Then in the evening, I went back. I went back to Patong Beach. So this time though, I was in a more formal, clubby situation, which got overwhelming quite quickly for me. It got really overwhelming. So I left, went back home. It's quite a mission to find a Grab back home. Yeah, I don't know how the other people end up leaving that scene, but I always struggled. For 2 nights in a row, I struggled to leave the area. But I think the highlight of this night was seeing these South African ladies, or them rather, seeing me just passing by, and they knew that I was also South African. So I ended up spending a lot of my time at this other place that they were chilling at. So great. I like those experiences. Unfortunately, my stay in Phuket was short because, again, as I mentioned on the previous video, my itinerary was a bit rushed at times. So the following day, I was going to have parts of the day, but you know, when you've got a flight later on the day, you can't really relax and do much. So the following day was my last day in Phuket. So I went to buy souvenirs. So I spent my day at Patong Beach, went to buy souvenirs. I spent a bit of time at the beach, and then I had to go. And then the next destination that I went to is a place that's so dear to me. Out of all the places I went to, it's one place that I would definitely move to. I would definitely move to. Yeah, but I think just thinking about Phuket and my overall experience, one, I felt that it was very expensive, way more expensive than Bangkok. So I think your rent goes further in Bangkok than it does in Phuket. So the prices are really high. And I understand it's a very touristy area, so people go there with the intention to spend. It's also a little bit more crowded than other parts of Southeast Asia that I had gone to. Very crowded. I like immersing myself in the culture of the place that I'm in. So I felt like I experienced less of the Thai culture and more of just a touristy vibe than in Bangkok. Would I go back? Yeah, I would, but maybe not in the very near future. I know I've got a lot of friends and family that still wants to go to Phuket, but yeah, it really wasn't a highlight for me. I liked it, yes, but it wasn't that great. But again, this was a budget trip, so it could be just that it was a bit expensive for me. The accommodation that I was in was great, and as much as it was cheap compared to what I would pay in other areas, but it was still the most expensive out of the whole trip. That's where I paid the most for accommodation. And for 2 nights, I think I paid about 1.5 for the room that I was in. I think that's good value for money, but for Southeast Asia, it was still expensive. Food was very expensive. Even the grabs, the motorbike grabs, they were way pricier than in other parts of Southeast Asia. Otherwise, the experience was great. It was great. So catch me on the next one, and on the next video we are exploring a country that I went to on a layover. Bye. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.